The attack yesterday, where the Israeli forces fired on United Nations peacekeeping bases in southern Lebanon, has sparked widespread condemnation and raised serious concerns about the security and role of the United Nations interim force in Lebanon. On Thursday, 2 Indonesian peacekeepers were injured when an Israeli tank fired at an observation post in Nakora, while 2 more were hurt in a separate explosion near the border, which the Israeli Defence Forces are currently investigating. The UK government has expressed its deep dismay, with a spokesperson declaring that they are appalled by the reports and underscoring the vital need for protection of both civilians and peacekeepers. This sentiment has been echoed by the United Nations Secretary-General Antonio Guterres, who stated unequivocally that firing on peacekeepers constitutes a violation of international humanitarian law, stressing that these peacekeepers must be protected. The IDF has defended its actions, citing an ongoing conflict with Hezbollah, whose operatives and infrastructure are reportedly in close proximity to the UNIFIL positions. According to the IDF spokesperson, Lieutenant Colonel Nadav Shoshani, the IDF takes every precaution to minimize harm to civilians and peacekeepers alike, though these assurances have done little to quell international criticism. The UN spokesperson Andrea Tenenti described the attacks as deliberate, underscoring the grave dangers now faced by peacekeepers and civilians alike in this region of heightened hostilities. This recent violence has ignited concerns over Israel's compliance with international law. Andrea Tenenti remarked that these attacks appear to be an escalating threat against UN peacekeepers, whose mission since 1978 has been to stabilize the border between Israel and Lebanon. The United Nations General Assembly established UNIFIL to monitor hostilities following Israel's invasion of southern Lebanon, and since then, over 300 peacekeepers have lost their lives in the line of duty. UN Secretary-General Guterres, alongside other international voices such as Ireland's Taoiseach and the French government, have decried these actions, and a Downing Street spokesperson called for an immediate ceasefire and reiterated the urgent need to renew diplomatic efforts for peace, underscoring the potential for a broader regional conflict that could erupt from such incidents. The UN's mandate for peacekeeping forces is critical. As Tenenti highlighted in a recent statement, we are here because the UN Security Council has asked us to be here. So we are staying until the situation becomes impossible for us to operate. However, as UN peacekeepers continue their mission in the middle of mounting dangers, it's clear that the international community's role in securing and supporting peacekeepers on the ground is ever more pressing. The targeted attacks against UN positions underscore an intensifying and complex landscape in the Middle East, with Israel's tactics being scrutinized as the international community demands accountability and a renewed commitment to diplomatic peacekeeping efforts. The question now remains as to whether the calls for adherence to international humanitarian law will bear any immediate impact on Israel's actions moving forward.